to this morning's espresso shot this week. It's a fall season now. We're seeing some snow in Calgary. I hope you are all staying warm. Some of you are in tropical countries, cities, so maybe that's not so bad for you. All right, so let us get going with this morning's practice. Let us begin by placing our awareness in the area of the heart, which is where we begin, which is where we were born, and the first organ that began developing was the heart. So let's start there. Let's place our awareness in this beautiful area of your heart and taking slow, deep, gentle breaths. And just visualize these or experience these flowing in and out of your heart. Breathing very gently, breathing deeply. There is no rush. There's this bubble around you outside which nothing exists. This is your me time. And this is where you just focus inward and take these slow, deep, gentle breaths. Because by doing these slow, deep, gentle breathing approaches, you are asking your body to produce anti-aging, rejuvenating hormones. That is essentially what's happening in your body when you start breathing in this way. Your autonomic nervous system, which controls 90% of all your automatic functions in your body, begins to calibrate to a new normal with regular practice in this way. So take these slow, deep, gentle breaths, recalibrate your body to a normal. That is what your body is meant to do in balance. And sit with this breathing approach for the next few minutes. Slow, deep, gentle breaths, and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Tap into how your body feels now. Does it feel different? Is it slowing down? Are you getting more energy? One of those is happening. Tune into your body and experience what's happening as your body shifts to a new calibration level. See if you can breathe a little deeper. Just go to that point where you feel comfortable, but you're at the edge of that comfort level. A little bit more deeper and make sure the breaths are symmetrical. Wonderful, beautiful. Once again, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Today's topic. Let's talk about things that make me go and let's talk about today's topic. It's a myth of sexual energy. When we talk about this topic, a lot of people feel uncomfortable, And I recently did a Module 1 webinar with my dearest sister, Amber, Dr. Amber Wolf. And she has a lot of depth in the practice of Kundalini meditation, tantric meditation, tantric practices. And we're working together to provide, to overcome some of the myths surrounding sexuality and sexual energy. Most of us, at least in the Western world, have been brought up to understand sex as being something that is dirty, perhaps, or something that is sinful. To think about Roman Catholic upbringing, and certainly my upbringing, I was not brought up as a Roman Catholic, but my upbringing was similar. That sex is not talked about; it is a shameful subject, and people have the feeling of shame around it. And I wanted to kind of unpack that for us a bit right now, and to really talk about this idea of sexual energy. Sexual energy is not in itself separated from other energies that we feel in our body. When we talk about the chakra systems and energy systems, and there is a lot of evidence to show that there are energy systems in our body, and this is just an extension of an energy system exploration, is this idea, this notion of having sexual energy reside in what they call sacral chakra here. But there's a lot more happening there. There's a connection from that sexual energy to the heart, to the throat, to all the other meridians in your body, these energy centers, and they interrelate. So if you've got a very powerful heart, say for example, if you want to separate them out, but you are kind of hurting, or have some blockages in that, the heart is not as efficiently working to open up. And so sexual energy is not in itself separate from everything else. As a matter of fact, sexual energy is tied very much to creativity. Think about it. Creativity, I mean, when you're in the act of sex, one of the functions of sex is to actually produce another human being. And the human being that you produce is quite complex. Quite, so we don't even understand 99% of how a human being functions. The 1% we do understand, we're applying drugs and all these other remedies to it. But really, there's a whole dimension to that we don't understand. Well, if the act of sexual energy can produce something so complex and beautiful like that, imagine what the act of the energies that's associated with sexual energy can produce in your life, from places of creativity, from producing something beautiful for others, for humanity. And all of those things are kind of tied into sexual energy. So when we talk about sex and we feel shame around that, that's our key to resolve that feeling of shame. And I do want to share with you something after we go through the chi shot session, about a program that's coming up with Dr. Amber Wolf and I, that's going to involve both men and women. But for now, let us talk about the stomach energy channels. This particular process of qigong, it's actually tapping a meridian in your body. So it's a qigong tapping technique. And there's stomach energy channels that are just underneath, on the cheekbones, just upper cheekbones here. And if you want to improve, manage your diabetes in terms of the symptoms, improve your eyesight, there's some candida issues, blood sugar issues, just put your hands like this and gently tap for 3 minutes in the bones here. So as you tap like this, what happens is it awakens those stomach energy channels, and it'll help improve your digestive system. It's going to awaken and make more efficient the energy channels that work with your digestive system, with your blood sugar levels, if you've got candida, things like that. So 3 minutes, as often as you want, just tap in this way, okay? And that is the chi shot moment for this week. So wonderful. All right. So if you have any questions about what we talked about today, do type that into the chat area, and I'll tackle it after our next practice. All right. So let us just get comfortable. What we're going to do now is to go through a practice where we're going to add emotions into that. The emotions create a very powerful elixir in our body. The response in our body around when we create an emotion of gratitude or appreciation, that particular emotion will generate the chemicals required for rejuvenation. It'll stop the stress response. It will beautify your body, and you will start repair and rejuvenation function in your body. So now let us add this layer of positive feeling and bring it forward. So placing awareness in the area of the heart, taking slow, deep, gentle breaths, and just visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, just like we did a few minutes back. And now I want you to activate a feeling of gratitude, of love, of appreciation. Just imagine something happening to you that you would enjoy or fantasize about, or recall a past memory, anything that will create this feeling of appreciation and gratitude. And the higher the intensity of that feeling, the better your level of coherence, where your heart and mind is aligned. And when that alignment takes place, you think a lot more clearly. The right signals are going to the right places, and you're affecting 90% of your automatic functions. One of them is repair and rejuvenate, but there are many more functions that happen. Digestive systems, blood sugar levels become regulated. So take these slow, deep, gentle breaths and experiencing them flowing in and out of your heart while you experience a regenerative emotion such as gratitude, appreciation, and just sit with that. Taking slow, deep, gentle breaths and experiencing these flowing in and out of your heart. I want you to place your awareness just a few inches or a foot away outside of your body. And start by focusing on the heart area. So there's a place about a foot away from your heart. Just place that focus and intention there and see if you can sense that area. See if you can breathe. When you breathe, that the breath flows through that area in front of your heart before it touches your physical heart on your chest. And as you exhale, visualize it flowing out of that particular area. And as you take these slow, deep, gentle breaths, place your awareness just beyond your body. What you're doing is you're becoming more in tune with that part of you that is not physical, part of you that cannot be seen in the mirror, part of you that is actually there. And you can see physics. There's physics behind that fact. So you are beyond you, and you can measure you beyond you. So I want you to get in touch with that. That is actually consists of 99.99% of you, which is unseen outside of you. Tune into that. Slow, deep, gentle breaths. And while you're tuning into that, ask your body to allow you to feel a more intense version of gratitude and appreciation. Let's amp up that emotion. Beautiful. Now I know that there are many individuals that are, I would say, empaths, sensitive. So when I ask that you place your awareness just beyond your heart area, you may feel some trepidation. Those of you who are sensitive to energies, you may feel some trepidation around. Okay, I'm so used to closing things in, so I don't feel other people's emotions. But now you're asking me, Shamir, you're asking me to do that, and there's a reason why I'm asking you to do that. The reason is when we close off our hearts, what we end up doing is we close off our own healing process. So the idea is to learn how to create that feeling of compassion and gratitude, broadcast it outward, feel it and sense it beyond you. Because once you create a bubble around you, which has emotions imbued on that bubble, and and I can tell you that these are things that we measure. You can actually measure this in laboratories, that there is a magnetic field around you, and the emotions are imbued as frequencies on that magnetic field. So what I'm telling you is actually happening. And when you feel other people's energies, that is real. You're not crazy. That is absolutely real. So I just wanted to, for those who are sensitive and empaths, I know at least one person on this call is an empath. I want you to just bring out the emotions of gratitude and appreciation and broadcast it outward. And imagine that these are out here so that anybody's energies, if they've got lots of anxiety and your intensity of your compassion and gratitude, the intensity is higher, that will not affect you. As a matter of fact, you will transform them. And that's how healers operate. It's not about healing others. It's about healing yourself, creating that big bubble. And so then you can transform others just by you being transformed from inside out. Okay. Just wanted to share that with you because I sensed that there was a couple of empaths on this particular area that felt a bit of trepidation. So maybe it's just my yeah, uh, curiosity there. I thought I'd share with you. So if you need some help getting out of your own way so that you can elevate your ability to attract an abundance and peace, please do hit me up, call me. I'm happy to chat with you for 15 minutes, no charge, just to see if this is something that would be beneficial to you. All right, let's go to Q&A. I see there's something that came through. Oh, Dawn, good morning. Hello, Dawn from Lethbridge, LA, Lethbridge, Alberta. I hope. Oh no, she's now moved to north in Edmonton area. So I hope it's not too bad out there weather-wise for you. And can we begin to choose how we feel about sexual energy instead of remaining in the past conditioning? We understand so much more now. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I brought this up. And if you saw my email, I had to be very careful about spelling out sexual and sex because spam filters would get it. We have a very toxic um, attitude, and I'm generalizing for the Western world. Perhaps it's different in the underdeveloped countries, but for us, the sexual energy part, there's so much around it, baggage around it. It's considered a sinful act to some, and we've blocked that particular aspect of us. And yes, I agree with you, Anne. Thank you so much for confirming that. Dawn, what is a good resource for taking a very balanced approach to sexual energy? Yeah, your favorite, my favorite, everybody's favorite topic. Um, I know Dawn. I know Dawn. I know she won't mind me sharing that she is very creative. She's an artist and she's a wonderful painter and sketch artist. And I've seen her work. It's brilliant. And the flow of energy is there for all of us. And if we can just the energy of shame around us is what's holding our sexual energy blocked. And to release that, we need to release the shame. In order to release shame, what we need to do is find out where it is in our body that's sitting there. It's not necessarily, when you say it's a second chakra, it's not necessarily sitting there. It could be on the shoulder here. Your body is very complex. Like I said, it doesn't reside in one area. So to answer your question, Don, the universe always gives you clues when you actually put that question to the universe and say, hey, how do I unblock my area of sexual energy? The universe will actually give you an opportunity to feel the pain of that blockage in a very gentle way if you ask for it. So, for example, you may come across an instance where your creativity is blocked, and then when you ask the question, you will realize that there's an emotion attached to that blockage. That emotion Could be shame, could be something else. And when you actually explore that emotion, it slowly starts unraveling and opening up. Then you get more opportunities. So really, my short answer to your question, Dawn, a good resource for taking a very balanced approach to sexual energy. You can take many courses if you want. The answer lies within. The answer lies in actually becoming inquisitive and asking the question to the universe and asking for that. I'll give you an example of what happened to me. I wanted to learn a little bit more. I met somebody a while back, and she told me about tantric energies and tantric breathing, and I had no idea, and we practiced the breathing techniques together, and I was fascinated. The energy was just amazing, and especially the energy between two people. I mean, the deep connection that we felt doing that practice was amazing. So I asked the universe. I said, I want to know more. I want to learn more. I know nothing. And yeah, I don't want to crack open books and do this, do that. I just want you to bring resources to me, people to me that will teach me this. Lo and behold, my dearest sister, Dr. Amber Wolf, one day out of the blue said to me, Shamir, we're doing a module on the sacred sexuality for my women's movement. I want you to be a guest speaker from a masculine perspective on toxic masculinity and how to overcome that using some of the techniques that you've shared with me. And so that's what brought me into that. And the next module of that involves men. The first module was women only, and the next module is men and women. And we're going to talk about toxic masculinity, toxicity around sexual energy, and work towards unblocking some of these. But you don't have to take those courses. You don't have to read books. I think you can just ask the universe to say, universe, bring me people and things that will help me unblock this energy. And maybe this course is right for you that we're going to be presenting. Maybe there's something else that's right for you. That's how you explore that. Okay. Um, Dawn just added that so true that creative energy is so available. Shame is huge. I 100% agree. We need to, when you look at the vibratory level, there's the depression, there's sadness. Shame is wanting to hide. When you feel shame, you feel like wanting to hide. Death is hiding forever. So shame is just one level of vibration above death, and it's not a very good thing. And there's a great difference between sexual energy and sex, absolutely. And that's really the myth, right? Sexual energy is not only for procreation. Sexual energy is kind of combined with creative energy. You can't separate the two. You can't say I'm creative, but I don't have sexual energy. And sexual energy doesn't mean you have to follow through with having sex. It just means that there's energy in your body that is creative forces. And so that's, we can't go through all of that in the short time we have here, but certainly there's a myth around that. We need to explore that. We need to unblock that. But if we think about shame, for any time we mention sex or sexual energy, it blocks your creativity. Thank you. Dawn mentioned people don't get that. So true, Anne. She's agreeing with Anne, of course, but not the same. You cannot hide and be creative. Vulnerability is essential, absolutely. And the breathing technique that I mentioned, it's something that we're probably going to bring on future modules on the breathing techniques. But what happens is you have to become vulnerable. And the next module we're going to talk about is actually that. It is, vulnerability. It's perhaps different for those who identify as masculine. It's perhaps difficult. Me showing vulnerability when I was bred as an engineer. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm an engineer. I'm perfect, right? The difference between God and engineer is that God doesn't think he's an engineer. That's the difference. So, engineers are we're bred not to show vulnerable points because we're bred to design, kind of reinforcements for those vulnerable points. And sometimes that turns into toxic masculinity or toxic femininity, either way. All right. Great. Great discussion. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I don't see any more comments coming through. So I just want to thank you for your wonderful, wonderful, beautiful participation. Any comments or things that come later on, send me an email. I'm happy to respond that way. All right. And as soon as I get more information about module 2 and also how you can access a replay of module 1, it's for the sisters only, the module 1. But as soon as I get more information about that, I will be sending it out in a broadcast so you can take a look at it and check it out. All right. All right. Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I look forward to chatting with you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.